This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2021 Bighorn Traveler by Heartland. And the model number is 39MB. So let me just show you some of the features here. We start off the door side rear. And you can see your, it has a quick connect LP fitting there to connect a grill or a griddle, whatever you use. Coming forward, you have a power awning with LED strip, of course. You have outside speakers. Area you could for storage or for well, whatever you choose to use it for. Anyway, you can use it for just about anything. Whoops. If you look here, you have basically a signal out for a television and power, so you could set a TV here. And of course, this is just your pass-through basement area. You have 30-pound LP tanks, which are full. Up here, you have your battery storage and hydraulics here. So you can see you have two batteries. They're 227 series batteries. They're vented to the outside. They're 12-volt batteries, but they're wired together in a fashion that keeps them 12 volts. It just doubles the storage capacity. So you just have like having a very large battery, and that's how the system looks at it, as one battery. This is a power inverter here. So it takes the 12 volts out of the batteries and inverts it to 110 AC, and then it'll send it right to the refrigerator to keep your refrigerator going. Of course, those two switches there are both kill switches for the battery, and of course these are your hydraulics and your reservoir, that sort of thing. Okay. All right. So let's move a little farther. Your other LTP tank is behind there. Let me see if I can get this with one hand, or I might just. Oh, there we go. So let's see what we have here. So this is just your docking station here. You have some diagrams here to show you how it works. This is obviously just a sprayer here. You have your inlet here to put the fresh water or city water hook up there, and then you can either fill the tank by turning this way. You can use the city fixtures the way it's set up now. Of course, you would fill the tank and use the water pump if you were camping at a campground that does not have plumbing on the campsite. So you can, by filling the tank and then using the pump, you can run all the plumbing just like you have city water, of course. Plugs here, signal through from that sort of thing. This is to bypass your water heater when you're winterizing. Okay, and it's all shown. This diagram tells you exactly what everything's for. This is your water heater. It's a 10-gallon water heater. The thing to know is, of course, this is your drain plug / anode rod here. It screws right into here. Takes an 1 1/16 6-point socket to put it in and remove it. So you need to have that, of course. The switch here controls the electric heating element that's behind this cover right here. It's off right now, but keep in mind that it's here in the lower left-hand corner. There are switches inside the trailer too, but you have to remember that one is there. The thing is, you have to make sure you don't run the water heater without water in it, because the heating element can burn out in a minute or so. So it goes very quickly. So always make sure there's water in the tank before you use it. Okay. Valves down here, you can see. Just make sure. Basically, the gray tank is sink and shower water, of course. The black tank is toilet water and waste. You have two gray tanks on this one. So just remember, basically the rule of thumb is you dump the black first, because that's the dirtiest water, and then you dump the gray, and it helps to wash out the hose, right? then you can come back here after you dump the black one anyway, and you can hook the hose here at the dump station right here, and basically you have to leave the valve open like I said, but you turn on the water and this will spray out your black tank. It's a black tank flush, so it'll clean up the sensors, just really flush out the tank really well. So if you have a workable hose at the dump station, it's a good idea to always take advantage of that. I just started to touch on it over there, but you have a 6-point leveling system here. You can see there's 3 jacks on each side. Let me walk up here a bit, see where we're at here. Okay, so this one has a very limited control right here. Basically, hitch height. Basically, you're going to auto level it, right? When you auto level it, always remembers the last hitch height that it was at. So when you're getting ready to leave, you can push auto hitch height here, and it will bring it back to that position. So that's what you're going to do normally. If you retract them all, it'll nosedive a bit, right? It'll take it very low. So generally speaking, you're going to use auto level, then hitch height. To turn this on, you push both buttons at the same time. You see it lit up there, and of course there's a diagram telling you what you can do with it. Now there's going to be another control inside the trailer that has more detail and more function, or more options, I guess I should say. So I'll show you that when we get inside there. All right. I got to go kind of fast here because I only have 28 minutes to get this done. This is a shop cord here. So this one right here is yours. It's a 30-foot, 50-amp short cord. You get the reducers with it, so you can reduce it down to a 30 and then down to a 20 if you need to. All right, this housing up here tells us this is pre-wired for a backup camera, so you can always add that. It comes with a ladder, which is great because the manufacturer states that you should inspect the roof every 90 days. So somebody needs to go up there, check all the sealant, make sure there's no cracking or separation, make sure that the roofing material or the vent covers, for example, were not damaged by low branches, things like that. Just give it a good inspection. If you see issues, take care of it immediately, okay? That should be done every 90 days. Okay, let's go inside where the heat's working. Very damp, chilly day here. Okay, so, let me wipe my feet here. So, this is your control panel here. The slides are hydraulic except for the front one. Let's see, let me look up here. Yeah, that is electric, it looks like. So this is the button for the hydraulic slides. You just push it in and out and they'll go in a certain series, usually the off door side first, then the door side. So that's done hydraulically, and it has one electric slide. Okay. This is a remote switch for your inverter. We talked about the inverter a bit. The inverter takes the 12 volts from your battery, turns into 110 AC, and sends it to your refrigerator here. Then, let me look around here to get my bearings straight here. Okay. So that's the inverter. There's also a converter in here somewhere. Oh, I bet you it's in here. Sorry about the camera work everywhere. This is what I have to work with here. So, okay, yeah. So this also comes with an inverter. Basically, an inverter does the opposite of a let me back up. This is a converter, which does the opposite of the inverter. The inverter, like I said, goes from 12 volt DC to 110 AC. This does the opposite. It goes from 110 AC to 12 volt DC. So you can see you got regular household circuit breakers here. This is the 110 AC, and they're all labeled, right? And then the power is converted to 12 volt DC here. You've got regular 12 volt fuses, and they're all labeled. If any of these fuses were to blow, they'll actually light up and you can see them through this plastic. And importantly, this is a battery tender. So as long as you're plugged in, this will keep your both batteries up front charged. So it just sends this enough power that or as much power as it needs to keep them charged up, okay? So this is that's the converter, which goes from AC to DC, and the one up front I showed you was the inverter, which goes from DC to AC. Okay. Is there anything else that I could Yeah, I'm thinking that the electric, this might be the electric slide out here. One way or the other, it has one electric slide out, okay? You can put a TV in here, it's got a backer and signal up, signal out and power. Alright. Hopefully I'm not confusing you here. You check your levels here, battery, fresh water's empty, black, grade 1 and grade 2. Grade 2 is going to be the galley tank, which is for your kitchen sink. Grade 1 will be the sink and shower in the bathroom, and then of course black is the toilet. Well, as it graduates up in 1/3 increments, once you get past 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping the tanks. Okay, your water pump switch is here. I told you you can pump from the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. This is also used to winterize the trailer. Now, this is the water heater here. You have let's see here on this one. I want to make sure I got it right. Okay, so this one is gas right here, I believe. It says 12 volt on it, but it does have a fault on it, so I'm sure it is actually gas. It's actually the first time I've seen it labeled like that on a trailer before, so I'm confident that's what it is. Now, the 120 volt, that's the electric part, the electric heating element that I told you was behind the cover on the outside. And there's another switch for this in the lower left-hand corner on the outside, if you recall. So both these would have to be in the on position to do that, to operate that. Okay, these are just lights here. And I went through the slide outs. This is the awning. You got a power awning. Never leave it out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, roll it in. Okay, and this is your remote for your inverter. Okay, the puzzle of inversion. Okay, so this touch panel is just your leveling system. I showed you the leveling system on the front of the trailer, the controls for it. This is the same thing. You can see it has auto level, auto hitch height, right? So, like I said, when you auto level, it always remembers the last hitch height that you are at. So, theoretically, you pull up to the campground, you unhook it from your tow vehicle, pull the tow vehicle away, then you auto level it. It remembers what height that was, so when you push auto hitch height, it brings the jacks up and puts it in the same position it was before it auto leveled. So in theory, you should be able to slide right underneath with your tow vehicle and hook up. Now, if you want to operate these manually, you can scroll through this menu here, auto retract. Auto retract now is everything. Like I said, if you were to do that, it brings them all up, even the front landing gear, so it'll kind of nosedive down. So most people don't really use that that often, but it is an option. The other thing you would use a lot is you would scroll it to manual mode. So once I get to manual mode, let me do this again. Then you're going to push enter to enter manual mode, and using this wheel here with front, left and right, front and rear, you can select the jacks and then use the positive and negative sign here to operate them independently from each other. So you could actually operate them independently if you need to. Like I said, most commonly we're talking about using the auto level and the auto hitch height function. Okay. All right. This is just a loft. Okay. Kids love lofts. Grandkids even love them more. Okay, so let me walk through this here. Basically, you have 2 theater seats. These cushions come off, of course, and this is a hide-a-bed. It folds out into a 3-panel bed. 2 panels fold out, and then the back will drop into place. All you have to do is drop the legs on it too. So that's for guests if they come to visit. Your refrigerator, or excuse me, let's do it this way. Your fireplace has a remote, okay, and basically you can turn it on and off. You can select Celsius or Fahrenheit. You can change the appearance of the flame, like so. All right. You can. There's a timer, so you could. Let's say you get up at the same time every morning. You could set this to turn on, 15-20 minutes before you get up in the morning, and it will take the chill out of the trailer without wasting any of your, or using any of your LP, because this runs on electricity. And then of course you have up and down for temperature. It's got a thermostat, that sort of thing, okay? I'm going to shut this off as I go here because it's already getting nice and warm in here. Okay, let's see what else we have. This is for your TV. So the Connects TV is more than just a TV. First of all, that's the remote for it. But I'm not going to go through everything because it's self-evident. You'll have to read the manual also. But you can look at the sticker here. You have 2 speaker zones. So inside is zone 1. Zone 2 is outside the trailer. You got FM radio. You got Bluetooth, so you can hook up to this TV wirelessly with your phone or tablet and play either audio or video stuff that way. You got HDMI, right? That you can go into the system with, and you can also charge USB with it. So it's a radio and television all in one, basically, with Bluetooth. Okay. Alrighty. So let's see what else we have. This is all of your packets, or I mean, this is the packet with all of your manuals, how everything works. If you can't find what you want in the packet, don't hesitate to get the model number off of any device in here and go to their website. 9 times out of 10 they've got videos, set up videos, using videos, that sort of thing. This is a phone charger that you could use on some phones. This range top, you spark it to light it. So basically you just go to light, and then you, I don't know if you have to depress this one or not. Let me see. I'm going to have to set this down. I don't even know if he has the gas on to be at this point. I'm going to set this down for 1 second because I need 2 hands, so bear with me. Alright. There we go. So there you have it right there. And of course 3 burners, 3 knobs. Now let me see what we got here with the oven. The oven's a little bit different. All the way to the back is a pilot light. You have to light the pilot light. You do that by going to pilot, obviously. Then you depress this and hold it in. Then you would light the pilot light. After it lights, you hold this in for another 10 seconds or so, and then you go to operating temperature, and it cycles on and off like an oven does. The thing is, when you shut it off, the flame goes out, of course, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay. This is a convection, I believe. I better be careful before I say that. Well, I'm not even sure. I should know that, but I haven't really looked at it yet. The real reason I think it might be convection is it's got the shelf, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything, I don't think. So I'm sure your wife or your family would know better than I do anyway. So, okay. The main thing is this has a light on it, of course, and it also has 2-speed vent on it, right? And of course, the rest of it works like a microwave, every other one. So you can tell I don't know much about the microwave. Now, right now, I'm looking at this, and we can talk to your son, Mike. He right now they've put these in this position. I mean, generally, when they put these on here, it's to hold it shut because you don't want to just slide it open during transit. So you have to get together and figure out how you want to configure it. This one obviously is configured that way, so you can do that. But the drawers are not. They have them on there. They're just not hooked up. So I'm not sure. I've not seen that before. So we'll have to figure out what's going to happen with that. Now, like I said, this runs on AC power, and when you're plugged in, obviously it gets uses regular current. But when you're traveling, it gets the current from the battery, 12 volts, which is inverted to 110 AC, sent to the refrigerator. And while you're traveling, your tow vehicle's alternator will be charging the batteries, right? Therefore, you can still keep your food cold and everything when you're traveling. So that's how that works. So your tow vehicle's alternator charges the batteries. The batteries send their power to the inverter, which converts to 12 volt DC to 110 AC, and then to the refrigerator. Okay, I think we got it. I've gone over it several times, so hopefully I'm clear. All right, so as I look around, we've already done the center room and the loft. So we'll go up front to the bathroom here. Thermostats, you have two thermostats here, right? Zone 1 and Zone 2. It's got two air conditioners. This one also heats, I believe. It probably has a heat strip in it. I can't tell you that for sure. Also, this plate here tells us that this is pre-wired for a signal booster, a digital signal booster. It has an antenna that goes on the roof and also a router that would go inside the trailer. The advantage to that is with the signal booster antenna on the roof, you can get much better signal, and you get you just get a better, cleaner signal, and then you have an onboard router also. All right. This is the outdoor thermostat, of course. This is for your 360 antenna. So you have to turn it on and off, obviously. So in order to get TV, radio, that sort of thing, you have to make sure you turn that on. Okay. Let me see here. I'm trying to get this all in without... Wow, it's nice and warm in here. Okay. So you do have a fan. You always want to use that with the shower to pull the humidity out. Shower looks to be fiberglass, I would guess. There are, I think, at least 2 GFCIs in this trailer. So every plug is wired through a GFCI, even though it isn't physically a GFCI, but it does wire through one of them, including the plug on the outside. So keep that in mind. If you're using the plug outside and you pop something, it'll probably be this one that you'll reset. But there's also one in the back that you can reset also. So you'll have to learn that. You've owned trailers before, so you understand that you have to have chemical, excuse me, and water in the toilet. There's your flush pedal. Black tank is directly below, of course. So when you start, you want to put a dose of chemical in the bowl and put a gallon of water at least. Some people use more. It's up to you. But the main thing is you have to have chemical and water in there, or else the smell will be bad, for lack of a better word. So let's see here. So you're pre-plumbed and wired for a washer-dryer combo, stackable if you wanted to do that. And then you of course have a wardrobe type deal here with where you can hang clothes and that sort of thing. Okay. And I'm sure there's storage. Yeah, there's storage under here. I'm not going to bother pulling it up, but you have more storage under there. Always remember that the escape windows work like this. You just push it all the way through, and you'll pull the tab out, which pulls the screen out, and then you can exit that way if you need to in an emergency. Okay. I'm thinking everything is... I pretty much went through everything here. I'm looking around. I think I've pretty much got everything though. There's also a little carbon monoxide LP gas detector around here somewhere. I don't know if I haven't had my eyes open for it, but it's, oh, here it is right here. So this right here, this is a carbon monoxide and LP gas detector. It should always be green like it is. If it goes off, obviously you take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off, figure out what's going on. And if it beeps very slowly, it's telling you your battery's low. I'll set it off here for you. LP gas check is good. Carbon monoxide coming up. Good. And then, of course, the low battery alert. And then back to green. It should always be green. If not, get it serviced, okay? All right, so that does it then. First of all, I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. And remember what I told you about inspecting the roof every 90 days. That's very important for trailer owners to do, obviously. And right now this trailer is winterized. It has antifreezes in the system and the water heater is bypassed. So when you start using it either down south or in the spring, you got to make sure you de-winterize it, okay? Thank you very much.